Welcome everybody to the GSN, the Graveyard Sports Network. This is your host, Sammy33, and we will be focusing on the Cardinals franchise for MLB The Show 21. So unlike what I've done in the past, where I've played all the franchise games on Twitch and everything has been done there, we're going to segue and try to split things up a little bit this year. So we're going to focus on playing the games on Twitch for all of you to see, but we're going to do some other things on YouTube to try to make this experience a little more interesting this year. So there's going to be some channel rewards. If you have questions, ask in chat. I'm more than happy to explain what you can do to participate in this and have some influence on what is going to be shown in these videos. But right now, let's kind of get things started with our opening episode. You may know who I'm going to pick, but let's go take a look. Surprise! All this time you thought it was going to be the St. Louis Cardinals, but I want to do, I can't even fake it. We're going to roll with the St. Louis Cardinals this year. You already saw the graphic on Twitter. I showed it on the stream. Yeah, I guess say earlier today, yesterday, depending on when you were here, you saw it. We're going to roll with my St. Louis Cardinals. As we usually do, things are going to be run a little bit differently this year. So this probably comes as no surprise. Looking at the team, very, very solid. We will have Kim this year, so that's someone I did not have last year. Obviously, we had Miles and Martinez, but because of different things that were done, there were trades made, so couldn't keep them. One thing that I will note, Hudson will sit the entire year regardless of what happens in the minors because he is out for the season IRL. So I want to keep some semblance of realism there and do that. Other than that, this is a very solid team pitching wise. We'll see what we do at the plate. That's a concern. Reyes, Hicks, Miller, Gant, Gallegos, really, really good bullpen. Obviously, Jack is our best pitcher. We'll see what happens with the rest. I'm kind of surprised that Waino was a 75. Thought he'd be a little bit lower. Got this kid down there that we can look at later on down the road. Hopefully, we'll get multiple innings or multiple good starts out of him, at least of course of season 2 and 3. And we know who this is. If you've been watching IRL, at least we know Castellanos knows. Yachty, how long do you stay a Cardinal? Let's see. Tyler is the second best in the organization, but Drew will be who we're looking at. Obviously, Goldie is going to start. Got John as backup. Second base, we know it's going to be Carp, as I've said many times in the past. Hernando will start at third. Tommy DeYoung, our little Swiss Army knife, and Tommy Edman, who practically plays everywhere, so it's a nice luxury to have. Tyler O'Neill. Harrison, I can't hit Vader. Dylan Carlson, plus some other guys. So let's kind of take a look and see what we're going to do lineup-wise. But before we can look into the lineups, we obviously have to go get our guy Albert. I've been talking about it all month. How are we going to bring Albert Pujols to the St. Louis Cardinals? The DH is on. He will be our permanent DH until he retires, and this is what we're doing. Because of salary and us having to match, we're going to send Carlos Martinez, give them a starter/reliever, and Austin Dean, someone that they could potentially use in the outfield. Does he develop? I don't know. We'll see. In return, we will take on Pujols and that massive contract, and also we'll take Vernon Gonzalez because he is cheap. He is a prospect. Does he develop? I don't know, but I need to get something in return. That is what we'll do. Albert Pujols, welcome to St. Louis. All right, looking at the lineups now that we have our guy, this is how it's going to look after heavy consideration. So you look at the bench. Since we have a DH now, it'll be for both sides. The same guys will be playing. Still debating on if Herrera is going to be brought down for Sosa, probably, because Sosa's a guy that can play multiple positions. Edman's nice, but Edman's probably going to be stuck in outfield by default. So Lane will stay. This one here is one that I'm thinking about. I'm not really big on Ivan. It's not going to matter. So what we have: Edman will lead off. Goldie and Arenado will follow. Carp, the controversial one, is going to play the role of cleanup this year. DeYoung will bat 5th. Pujols will bat 6th with that very impressive rating of 69.
Oh, yes.
Dylan Carlson, of course, the guy that we were really hoping will develop this season, will bat 7th, so try to keep him out of pressure spot so he can kind of grow freely. Yachty will bat 8th, and Bader will bat 9th. The reason Bader's batting 9 is the same reason I had him batting at the bottom of the order in 20. Though he has struggled hitting, and I love his speed, him turning the lineup over, essentially creating a double leadoff scenario with him and Edman is very helpful, but it takes him out of pressure situations. It gives me a little more flexibility in what I can do at the bottom of the lineup. Bunt. I trust Edman, possibly bunt someone over and put a guy on second, and then have Edman and Goldie have opportunities to drive them in. So this we're going to roll with. So go to the left side. As you can see, it's going to be the same. Nothing changes. Pujols bat 6 still. This is the lineup that we're going to roll with. Feel pretty confident about it as well. And then looking at the rotation, pretty obvious Jack was going to be number 1. Miles 2, Kim 3, so we will have a lefty in the rotation, a rarity for me these days. Wainwright will be 4th. Danny will be 5th. Jake, who we all know and love, will be quote-unquote the long reliever. He won't be, but he's there at that role for now. I don't expect to see him get a lot of pitching time because I love the bullpen. We bring Ryan up. He will be part of the pen. Hicks, Gant, Webb, middle relief. And as I always do, Miller and Gallegos, 2 guys I feel extremely confident in as the setup. Reyes has a low rating as an overall, but he has fire. The reason I don't have Hicks in this position, truthfully, the Cardinals have been rolling with Reyes as a closer IRL, so I'm going to kind of stick with it. But this is flexible. Hicks could move back into the spot. Gallegos could move into the spot. Or we can just go Terry Francona style and say, hey, whatever works is what we're going to go with. So this is what we have. This is what the roster is going to look like for the most part going forward. But before we actually get into Cardinal games, how about we take a look around the league, shall we? Let's start off in Milwaukee, where they were shut out by Minnesota opening day, 3-0. Miguel Sano, 2 RBI doubles, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Polanco, solo shot, did their work early, as you can see. Yelich did end up with multiple hits in this game. Travis Shaw did too, both going 2 for 4, accounting for over half of their team's hits. Looking at the pitching side, Kenta Maeda is going to get the win. 7 scoreless, 5 hits spread across. Brandon Woodruff got roughed up a little bit, but he collectively didn't pitch bad. Just 2 bad spots to Sano, and they're going to start out 0-1. Minnesota gets a win to open up this series. And next we'll head over to our nation's capital, where they were trying to make a run late in the 9th. They just weren't able to pull it off. They lose to the Mets 5-4. As you can see here, we're just going to skip to what everyone wants to see. You see Dominic Smith, the young stud, hitting the home run, as does Jeff McNeil, a rare one for him. The speedster Trey Turner, 1 for 5. Schwarber, home run. Harrison, home run. Bell, 0 for 4. Soto, 2 for 4, so it's off to a good start. DeGrom, a rarity, and the start for him, getting a win. Gives up 2 runs over 7 innings. The bullpen, they do give up runs, but they do just enough to get the win for their ace. Scherzer takes a loss. 3 runs over 6 innings. See what he does in his next start. We know Strasburg will be going next against Storer for the Mets. And next we'll head over to our nation's capital, where they were trying to make a run late in the 9th. They just weren't able to pull it off. They lose to the Mets 5-4. As you can see here, we're just going to skip to what everyone wants to see. You see Dominic Smith, the young stud, hitting the home run, as does Jeff McNeil, a rare one for him. The speedster Trey Turner, 1 for 5. Schwarber, home run. Harrison, home run. Bell, 0 for 4. Soto, 2 for 4, so it's off to a good start. DeGrom, a rarity in the start for him, getting a win. Gives up 2 runs over 7 innings. The bullpen, they do give up runs, but they do just enough to get the win for their ace. Scherzer takes a loss, 3 runs over 6 innings. See what he does in his next start. We know Strasburg will be going next against Thor for the Mets. Next, we'll head out to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, as the Braves take the opener 5-1. Hits are about even. Got Acuna and Marcell Ozuna, multiple hits. The RBIs, Travis Darnaud. Kipnis, remember again, the DH is on, so there will be a DH for every team. No pitcher will be batting this year, or in this entire franchise, if you're not able to switch it. Swanson with an RBI as well. You can see the young stud leading off for Philly, does not get any hits. But Reese McCutcheon, Didi, and Real Muto. Harper also does not get hit, strikes out 3 times. Rough day at the plate for him. You can see the young stud, he is pitching in the game, though not IRL. Mike, 7 hits over 8 innings, only 1 run allowed. Noah takes the loss, 4 runs, only 2 earned though, over 5 innings. We'll see what they do in the next game. But now we're going to head out to Coors Field. As you can see, the Dodgers rolled the Rockies. 21 hits. Kershaw with the opening win. We're going to head out to Seattle for some live footage. Hosting the Giants on opening day. A really low scoring game here. See Dickerson stepping up to the plate against Marco. 0-1 pitch, and he drives it into the gap in right, and that's gonna go. The only run scored this game, Alex Dickerson. 395. Giants take an early 1-0 lead. There's not a lot of hitting in this one, but Alex got all of that one. Got a pretty nice swing. We'll see the replay here. Nice little addition this year. Then Tyler White gets the save in the 9th, striking out Evan White with the runner on second. Opening day win for the G-Men. In the next video, we'll continue the highlights. We still have one more opening game to take a look at, but we'll do that in the next vid. Ohtani was requested in with the top points, so we'll take a look and see how he did in his opening day start. But for now, we will circle back to the center of this universe, the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, like I say, your influence will help decide what is looked at in these videos. I obviously will control what's going on with the Cardinals, but we'll still be able to see that. So Sonny Gray and the Reds will come, well, we'll be going to Cincinnati. This entire stream of Friday will be on the road as we'll play both the Reds and the Marlins. We'll have some highlights, probably some lowlights. Usually these are the things that happen when you start out playing a new game. Most things are the same, but it's the adjustment of getting used to what's new. So we'll follow Pujols, we'll follow Carp and the rest of the St. Louis Cardinals. Make sure you use your salt points to influence what is seen around the league. I'll try to do my best to give every team some love, but if there's a team that you want to see or a player that you want to see, definitely will put the focus there. There are some in the queue that we'll be looking at. Keep that in mind. Do my best to try to get everyone, a full look at what's going on around MLB. That said, I will see you on the other side on Twitch. We'll get into some St. Louis Cardinal action. Let's see if we can get Pujols off to a good start as we chase 7 hundo. Until next time, take care. Sammy33 signing out. I'll see you in the stream.